I got somebody to help me with this, and that's Harry Redknapp, legendary former Premier League manager, who's joined me on the line. Harry, good afternoon. Thanks for being with us on LBC.
Afternoon. No problem.
So can you help me? What is it going on? Why, when most of society seems to have moved on, football seems to have a problem?
Well, Martin, I'll be truthful. I mean, you look yesterday, I don't know how many people there are at the Etihad Stadium, say 50,000. You've got one idiot, one lunatic.
Yep.
One lunatic. You can't judge 50,000 people. You can walk up the street tomorrow. There's always a lunatic idiot who is just, I don't know where they come from, but it's not just, unfortunately, he's ended up at a football match, but the other 49,000 people or whatever may be there have not a problem. One nutter causes these problems. You can walk down the street and someone can, you see, there's always an idiot somewhere. Unfortunately, when he's at a football match, it gets highlighted, but Man City have got some of their best players that are black players. So, the whole thing is just so scandalous.
Even somebody like me who doesn't follow football this closely, I appreciate the fact. Look, football went multiracial, went multicoloured decades ago, didn't it?
Of course it is, absolutely. We have incredible. Most teams, some teams are made up more of black lads. They're fantastic players, great role models,
most of your football fans, I can't say standing on the terrace, as I know, that dates me, but most football fans appreciate the player for wherever they've come from, for the skill they have.
You've got one nutter, but when suddenly you hear people come out and say they should abandon the game. How can you abandon a game? There's 50,000 people there behaving themselves, and one idiot decides to shout out something stupid or do ridiculous gestures. How can you suddenly keep abandoning games because one nutter has decided to go to football on Saturday? He may not even like football, and he shouts out some kind of stupid racist remark or whatever, and so everyone else is suddenly, we're going to abandon the game today. That's not going to, people need educating. They need educating. This man needs to be educated, and he needs to have to go on a regular basis to have, to say, look, sorry, mate, this is not how you behave. You put him in whatever, if he goes in prison for it, but get someone in there to educate him on a regular basis to tell him, sorry, this is not how you behave in society.
And the idea of abandoning the game is an interesting one, doesn't it? Because although this wasn't in the UK, the England team had this issue about do we walk off, do we leave in a recent fixture. It would strike me on the game, as you said at the Etihad, 49,000, let's say 998 people were having a good Saturday afternoon, weren't they? Yeah,
so you can't abandon football matches because one lunatic gets into a football match. You've got nutters out on the street every day. You've only got to pick up you hear the news, you read the papers. Every day someone is doing, there's crazy things going on in the world. But so for one lunatic who decides suddenly to shout abuse at a player, you're going to stop everybody, abandon everybody's got to go, I'm sorry, this nutcase has just done this today. Who knows if he's even a football supporter? He could just be a nutter who decides to go to football for this one particular game. He could support his team are losing, and so he decides to shout, or his team to get the game abandoned. You can't just abandon football matches. He needs punishing. He needs educating. That's what for sure. He needs education, this man.
What's the sanction? What's the punishment, do you think? And do you think the club, the home club let him in, or is the club involved, or is it just on the individual?
No, the club can't do anything. What can the club do? Why, when the club do everything in their power, they have, everybody's anti-racism. Nobody in football, every club supports it. It's one isolated lunatic who's in the ground, who just doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know how to behave himself in society. But
now, is there an issue, Harry, here? And listen, we mustn't talk about the Manchester thing in these general terms. But if that some people in the crowd would probably, they might even agree with that sentiment, but they're just not prepared, they're disciplined enough to keep it to themselves, if that is their private opinion. And why is it, for instance, that other members of that particular crowd or group of supporters don't tell an individual like that, to zip it up or to get lost or
your problem is, listen, you're going to football and you've got some big lunatic there, you've got to be a brave man to go and say, hey,
I'm not advocating starting trouble, because football's had enough of that in the past.
It's not easy. Not everybody, most sensible people are not violent people. They just don't want to go up and have a fight with some nutcase. If he's willing to do
I wasn't advocating having a fight. I do appreciate the difficulty.
That's your problem. You go up to him and your chances are he's going to attack you as well. I'm not saying we've all got to stand by and do nothing, but I think tell a steward immediately. Look,
and then it's the stewards have protocols these days, do they? They've got sort of systems in place to deal with it.
Yeah, stewards get the police, take him out the ground, educate him, lock him up, whatever, but educate him at the same time. I mean, it's wrong. We don't need this. We don't want it. But unfortunately, it can happen anywhere. I know what's happening in football, and one lunatic has now come to the front. But it can happen to you in the street. I've been driving to football matches myself. There's been fans that don't like you and you're managing another team. I mean, some of the abuse is not racist, but filth they shout at you, you'd always get one or two people. 99.9% of the people are they're fantastic. You'd always get that one lunatic who will spoil it for everybody.
Sport and football has always had sort of lively language and stuff. Let's not be naive about it. But do you think it's got coarser? Do you think it's there's no decorum of any kind now?
It's got better, for sure.
You think behaviour's better, by and large?
There's a boy in the country at the moment who's come over for a week or so. He's a great friend of mine, and he was the first black player to play in England. We had Albert Johansson, a mixed-race lad at Leeds, but a boy called Clyde Best. Clyde came over. I played with Clyde at West Ham for a number of years. In them days, it was horrific. It was scary, but it's changed. And, everybody now, I'm looking at pictures on here now of the Celtic players celebrating. There's 5 lads having a picture taken with a cup. They're all black boys, every one of them. Fantastic lads, great players. The country have so fantastic black players. I mean, without them, that game would be nowhere near what it is. They're great. And everybody, 99% of us other people, appreciate them. They're not, I don't understand where these people are coming from. Surely that's in the Stone Age, that racism there.
Well, you might have thought so. Tell me about because you know football inside out, Harry, and far better than I. This stuff is the high profile games, isn't it? The big fixtures, the Premiership, and everything else. But down the leagues, do you think behaviour generally is better, right down to?
Actually, for sure.
You have some mums and dads on the touchline that the kids kick around who behave quite badly, but nothing quite like this. I think
no, nothing like that. Even in the lower divisions. In the non-league, isolated cases, for sure we have still. But as I say, most teams would be made up almost now 50-50 of black players. Yeah. So, surely, I mean, how can they suddenly give stick to other players on the other team? It just don't make sense to me. It's
an incident like this, we have to obviously express our disappointment it's happened, but there's no systemic changes needed. Do you think the football authorities have got this under control now, and that most of the time we're doing okay?
Well, listen, there's still lots of room for improvement. But how do you that isolated idiot yesterday, at 1 out of 50, 60,000 people? Has caused all the problem. But he will go home. How does he behave in front of his kids? How would he behave in front of his family? How does he behave in the pub? He probably behaves like that wherever he goes, unfortunately. He's just turned up at a football match yesterday and decided when looking at the team, he's got great black players in his team, yet he's shouting abuse. It's nonsense. It's absolute crazy what the man's, but he is obviously, as I say, he must have issues that need help. He may,
and who knows? He may well. I suppose at a societal level, there will probably be some individuals who will always exhibit these kind of racist tendencies, won't they? So maybe it's not fair to blame football. No. It can be anywhere, can't it? What stops people going to attack people in the street? Whatever race,
whatever they are.
And
You'll always get lunatics about. Unfortunately, you can walk up the street now and get mugged tonight or get attacked for no reason. Every day you pick up the paper, you see innocent people being. So unfortunately, there are these people in society. That is a problem. Not dead, he's ended up at a football match yesterday, but he needs help. Someone needs to help this idiot. Help him, please.
Harry Redknapp, a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for being with us this afternoon and setting off this hour of conversation. So.